Hello to all my family, my YouTube family. Real quick, I was talking to my stepdad today, and I was just kind of serious, okay? So I was talking to my stepdad today, and we were talking about the cycles that people continue to do. You know, the family dysfunction that carries on to the next family and the next generation and the next generation, and how children these days blame their parents for everything or the way they were raised, and they don't want to break the cycle. Like, they don't want to stop whatever it is that made them feel like they were stunted for whatever reason. So I grew up in a family, in a dysfunctional family, should I say. I think I've told y'all this several times before, but a dysfunctional family where my mom and dad were addicted to drugs, and that made me know, do not do drugs. That made me know, do not try alcohol. Hold on, don't get me wrong. I did try alcohol, so I don't want to be like, oh, I ain't tried alcohol. Yes, and the hell I did. But drugs I haven't tried. So I have I gotta be trying to tell y'all stuff without telling y'all stuff. But I have a little sister, and she's not really my biological little sister, because she's my stepdad's daughter. When my mom passed away, my dad went out and had a baby, and the rest is history. But when the baby came out, the mother was addicted to drugs. My dad was addicted to drugs. So the baby came into this world with parents who were addicted to drugs. For whatever reason, her mom passed away. When her mom passed away, I tried to get her, but being I didn't have any blood to connect us, they didn't give me the child. Time goes by. The lady originally got married, so my dad wasn't legally the father. Her husband was the father. There's a whole bunch of commotion in the middle of everything. But now, in the ripe age, 17 years later, she got a blood test, found out that my dad was her dad. My stepdad was her dad. So she's going through the motions right now, which I respect her motions, because you really always want to know where you come from. But she doesn't have a mother. Now she's looking at the rest of her so-called siblings, like, you know, I'm out here, I need a sister, I need a brother, I need something. When I'm 51 years old, not saying I can't be her sibling, but for whatever reason, the connection wasn't there. So she gets on social media and she makes this long old post about how nobody cares, and it brought me to the realization, and I didn't say it to her, she'll probably see it one day, but it brought me to the realization of, this is what you get when you have parents that are addicted to drugs. When you have families that are so used to functioning off of dysfunction, that this is the kind of life you get. And I feel so sorry for her, because she doesn't remember her mom. But when I was growing up, my mom loved me the best that she could. And when I say the best that she could, because anybody to me that's addicted to drugs, you can only love to the point of whatever that drug allows you to love. So she loved me as much as she could love me, as far as a parent that's addicted to drugs. So the girl going on, and I want to tell her so bad, this is a product of what your mom and dad did. Your mom and daddy did this. And I'm telling y'all this because a lot of people that's out here today raising kids probably haven't been raised up in a family of a drug addicted home. So you don't know what it does to the children of drug addiction. I'm 51 years old. And I still remember things that happened. I got a pizza coming in my mouth. That happened as I was a child, when I was a child. So if you out there and you raising kids right now and you doing drugs and you out here living reckless, and it's crazy. You are really hurting these children. And you might look at it like, oh, I ain't doing no, I smoke a little weed. I just do. You can only love your child as much as that drug allows you to love your child. Then a lot of people say, oh, I'm not addicted to drugs. I do it on the weekends. Okay, it starts off on the weekends, then it go into like a couple days during the weeks, and then it goes to then you're full-blown addicted to drugs. Then you're not doing whatever you should do when it comes down to being a parent. And when I became a mother, I knew it was some things I had to set to the side where I can't do this no more. Whether it was fighting, whether it was messing around with people, I had to stop because I have a child. So when you have a child, priorities change. When you have a child, then some of the things that will hinder how you care for your child should change. Now you got a little girl out here in the world who daddy by 80 years old. I think my daddy 80 years old. Her mother is in the grave, and now she feels like she's alone, and she feels like people have abandoned her. Nobody abandoned her because we are all of the same thread that you're from. We are all from dysfunctional families. So as parents, we really need to stop these cycles. I made it a point to say, when my kids was coming up, I'm not going to do drugs. I don't want my kids to see nothing that I've seen. I don't want my kids to live anything that I've lived. I made sure my kids had socks because I woke up days when we didn't have clean socks. So some things are like, it'd be the little things that keep you on focus. So yeah, so I made sure, I'm sorry y'all, let me take the gum out my mouth. I made sure that my kids had clean socks. I made sure that my kids didn't go hungry. I made sure that my kids did not have to work and I didn't need their checks to pay my bills. Because when I was growing up, I had to help pay bills. So I made sure that these things weren't what my children had to go through. I made sure, I said, Tisa gonna break the cycle. My mama had 5 kids and we all made sure that our kids didn't live like her kids had to live. Now don't get me wrong, I ain't had it worse, but it wasn't all that. It wasn't all that. Knowing me now as a parent, of course, I didn't know what I was missing because I didn't know what I was missing. That's all I ever knew. But now me as a parent, I know how much more love you can pour into a child. I know how much more time you can give a child. How much more understanding, how much more everything that you can give a child. How now you have to neglect Nora Potts for these children that you brought into the world. Then I sit up and I look at some of the parents, you drop the ball because you want this certain man or you want this certain woman, because don't get it twisted. It ain't just women that's single parents. You got a lot of single fathers out there. And then I listen to people, I read y'all little comments here. Oh, she's single. Because I'm very particular about who I let in my life. If you scare me at all, if I feel like in any way I might get hit one day, I might get abused one day, you might talk reckless out your mouth to me, I cut it off right then. Those are red flags that I can't look past because I lived that life. I've seen it with my own eyes. So ain't no way somebody gonna black my eye. Ain't no way somebody gonna bust my lip. Ain't no way somebody gonna talk crazy to me where I wake up in the morning and I got to hear these words or live with these words that somebody done spoke in my spirit. I don't do stuff like that. I don't do stuff like that. That's not gonna happen. But for all you young people out there who still living reckless and you got children to raise, life is like a vapor. I don't know what makes you think you're gonna be here tomorrow. So if you out there and you doing drugs and you drinking and you doing everything you want to do because you think life is just life, it's okay to just do whatever the hell you want to do, I hope you got a plan for your children. And really a plan for your children if they got two different daddies. That's what happened with my little sister. It was two daddies. So if somebody didn't take them, you're going to split the kids up. For all that they know, you're going to split them apart. Because you don't have a plan. Because you want to be out there living reckless and you don't believe that fat meat greasy and you can die tomorrow. Then y'all sitting up here and y'all dealing with people. I can see all these P. Diddy videos going around like that ain't real life. But if somebody holding you hostage to finances, holding you hostage to making you feel like you can't get nobody else, holding you hostage to make you feel like I love you and they really don't love you, like, break out of that. That's a cycle you don't have to deal with. Those things, abuse is something you don't have to deal with. I ain't dealing with abuse. And so many people deal with silent abuse. So many people deal with silent issues. And then when you say stuff like y'all say to me all the time, oh, she can't get no man. Oh, I could get one. But you got to get one with a stable mind. You got to get one who ain't so broken from whatever happened in his childhood and feel like he got to take it out on you, or feel like this is the way he's supposed to talk to people, this is the way he's supposed to do whatever. People, I ain't dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it. I don't deal with it. There's a lot of broken men. There are a lot of broken women. There are a lot of broken adults who have not dealt with whatever it is that's breaking them. They ain't gonna deal with it. So they keep going from relationship to relationship, from making babies and stealing this stuff in their babies and growing up with this, and you never break the cycle. You never change nothing. Because for one, us colored black folks feel like we don't supposed to get no help, but you do. You need help. But some cycles got to change. Some things got to change. You got to look at yourself and say, you know what? I'm going to love me. Because everybody ain't going to love you. So it starts with loving yourself. It starts with, okay, life is hard. Like, it don't have to be. But when you started off in a negative and you coming from a negative spot, like I'm coming from a deficit, because I didn't grow up with my mama saying, oh, go to college, be all you could be, do all you can do. I didn't grow up with that. I didn't grow up on the positive. I grew up in the negative. So I had to find my way out of this hole, out of this negativity. And sometimes we so clueless to where we are in life and how backwards situations are that you don't even know you in a hole, and you think this is normal. You think this broken life is normal. You think this anger is normal. Negativity is normal. You think being a hater is normal. You think being lack of joy is normal. You think being sexually active like you are is normal. You think doing dope is normal. All this stuff ain't normal. It ain't normal. It's some hidden stuff going on. Break the cycle. Break the cycle. I don't care what your mama and daddy did. If you live through anything that they did, then live different. And some people so bitter, they feel like, oh, I ain't had no mama. My mama wasn't there for me. God don't make no mistakes. Maybe she would have hindered you if she was there for you. Maybe she would have put the same drug in her arm that was in your arm that was in her arm. Maybe she wasn't watching and some man would have touched you. Maybe anything could have happened, and that's for a man or woman. Quit crying over spilled milk. Quit crying over things you can't change. What you can change is the way you look at life, the way you deal with things. I ain't come here, well, I did come here to do this, but I ain't come here to do this. But I just got to say, you can't continue to live in your past life. I say today, I'm going to do something different. Today, I'm going to be happy. Because That's a feeling. And if I choose to feel happy today, I'm going to feel happy. If I choose to feel joy today, I'm going to feel joy. If I choose to feel love today, you don't got to give me love. I'm going to feel my own love. If you read most of the comments I get between TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, how people talk so bad to me, and I just float past it. I don't listen because I love me enough that y'all can't penetrate this heart that God gave me. And it's some cycles that we got to stop. It's time to love yourself because nobody else ain't going to love you. God said, I'm going to be a mother to the motherless, a father to the fatherless, a sister and a brother to the brotherless, and all that. That's the only person you can trust. That's the only person you can believe. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you not to trust nobody. But when it all boils down, you got to talk to him because that's the only person going to be true to his word. My daughter backed me up to a certain point. The hell, you think I'm going to go through some stuff that I don't need to go through? God go that stuff with you. God go through stuff that you don't need to go through with you. And he holds your hand through it all because he's not afraid of it. I'm afraid of it. So I'm not going to put myself in harmful situations. I'm about to let y'all go. That's all I have to say. I'll be back. I couldn't read y'all comment because obviously I'm driving. I'll see y'all later.